Salt Lake Comic-Con 2013, and we are here with Schlock Mercenary creator and artist Howard Tayler. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Good to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about self-publishing. What got you into self-publishing, and what were some of the pros, some of the cons that you had to weigh between?
Okay, first of all, you need to understand that self-publishing for comics is a lot different than self-publishing for text, and it's been cool for 20 years.
Okay.
You know, self-publishing for text, it's only recently that self-pub has been, acceptable.
Like more people are taking to it.
Well, more people are taking to it, and it's not considered ghetto.
Oh, okay.
So when we first started with Schlock Mercenary, we were publishing it on the web, which was a form of, self-publishing. Weren't making much money at it. Steve Jackson Games offered to print the books and sell the books through their channel. So they would be my publisher, and that's no longer self-publishing. That is, you have a publisher.
Right.
But the publishing agreement was only going to pay me about 10% royalties, and their ops guy said, well, we expect to sell around 2,000 books, and I did the math and realized I'll be broke before, because, we were running out of money. And Steve, bless his heart, I'm grateful to him forever. Steve said, you should self-publish. And Sandra and I had run a record production company for years, and Sandra had said, promise me we will never again have inventory in the basement. And I started doing the math, and we realized that we could print a book like this for less than $5. We could print it for less than $3.
Oh, wow.
And the going rate for a trade paperback like this was around 20, which meant that I could sell 2,000 books and pay the bills for 6 months, which would be enough time to put together another print
forces.
run.
Okay.
Yeah, to put together another print run,
Right.
to put out another book. And so back in 2005, that's exactly what we did. We opened up pre-orders on the book, and in 30 days, the print run had paid for itself. We'd socked away enough to pay the bills for 6 months, and we realized, well, now we know when the next book needs to come out. Let's get to work.
Okay, so you're working on a timetable there. Let's look into the future, maybe 5-10 years. Where do you see web comics and self-publishing in that area going?
Wow, that's
look into the crystal ball.
I'm looking into the crystal ball. Digital distribution right now is sort of a wild, wild west, and I see that shaking out into a few publishers who try and dominate digital distribution as like portals, if you will. Comixology is already in that space. Comixology does not make anybody much money, except Apple and Comixology.
Okay.
You pay $1 for every dollar you spend with Comixology. Apple gets 30%, and then Comixology gets half of what's left.
Oh, wow.
And so the creator is getting, well, let's see, 35 cents on the book.
Right.
Whereas if you publish a PDF of your own stuff, for every $1 that's spent, you get $1.
Okay. That's good math right there.
It's good math. And so self-pub for comics, as gateways like the iTunes store, like the Kindle store, as things like that become more and more comic and graphic novel friendly, you'll see a lot of comics in there that are self-pubbed, but you will also see people like me selling PDFs or other other mobile electronic formats straight from their websites.
All right. Now, very quickly now, you do a podcast. Tell me a little bit about the podcast.
Oh, our podcast is called Writing Excuses. It's a podcast for writers, particularly for genre fiction writers.
Okay.
People who want to write sci-fi, fantasy, horror, paranormal romance, urban fantasy.
The tree branches from there.
It forks out. We kind of call it all genre fiction.
Okay.
The tagline is 15 minutes long because you're in a hurry and we're not that smart. And just this last weekend, in San Antonio at the World Science Fiction Convention, the World Science Fiction and Fantasy Society honored Writing Excuses with a Hugo Award.
Oh, wow.
For best related work. Yeah, it was thrilling. We were super excited for that. I don't actually have the trophy with me because I wrapped it. I put it in bubble wrap and shipped it home. But it's Brandon Sanderson, Dan Wells, Mary Robinette Kowal, and I, and our producer Jordan Sanderson. We talked for about 15 minutes about a given subject, a specific subject that is important to genre fiction writers.
All right, thank you so much, Howard Tayler.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best of success, and congratulations on your Hugo.
Thank you very much.